Yes, I, brothers and sisters. Hope everyone's well. Excuse me. I haven't done a video for a couple of days. I thought, why not do one on what I've just been watching there? I've just been watching a podcast with Anthony Holmes, the lad who I'm fighting. The podcast was called JN or JM Academy. Just had it on in the background there while I was sorting the bairns' breakfast and that. And see, before I listened to that, I didn't have much of an opinion on Anthony Holmes. I didn't like him. I didn't dislike him. I just nothinged him. He's just another opponent. He's just someone in the way, if you like. And I must admit, after listening to that, I rather like the way he talks. I rather like the way he kind of conducts himself, to be honest. See, I met him briefly after the weigh-in at Newcastle. Very briefly. I shook his hand, if I remember correctly. I still didn't have much of an opinion on him. I just thought, he's just another fighter. And that he is. But after listening to that, I've sort of come up with the realisation that I think he's a fairly good lad, I think he's a good guy. Do you know what I mean? See, when I was off my nut years ago, I always used to get it wrong. Well, I've got it wrong many times. I used to think I was a good judge of character, but I got it wrong that many times. I wasn't a good judge of character. Now, since I'm knocking on a year clean, I think I'm rather good at it now. Judging people, getting a bit of a feel for people. Anyways, they were talking about a number of things. They were talking about DMT. Now, I've had a couple, or shall we say, quite a few profound spiritual experiences with that molecule myself. And I could really identify and relate to what they were talking about and how they were describing certain things. Very, very relatable. Now, then they got on to talking about sort of like what's going on in the world. And I'm rather aware, of what's going on in the world, the stuff that we're led to believe and all this other stuff, the vaccinations and, cashless societies and all this direction that we're heading in. But I don't really talk about it on this channel because one, the platforms, they don't like it, and I want to keep my channel. This pays a couple of bills, so I don't talk about that stuff on here. I only really talk about that stuff with certain people and in certain groups, in private, if you like. But I'm, aware of what's going on, and what's happening in this world. And so were these lads on this podcast. And I found it very interesting, and I must admit I've gathered a bit of a likeness for the lad. It's not going to change the way I'm going to fight him at all. But, I must admit I liked what I was listening to. I was sorting stuff in there. And my ears picked up and I come and sat on here. And I watched it for 20 minutes or something instead of just listening to it. And I must say, I tipped my hat to him. He knows what he's talking about. He's not daft, by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, fair play to him. And I got sent something off his Facebook a couple of nights ago. I've just had a look of it there this morning and I've liked it. Now, he's saying, this fight's for his future and that. To a certain degree, he's not wrong. But, I think he wants it, in my opinion, a bit too much. You can want something too much, that's possible, Like I say, I've got no big dreams and goals of taking over this game and getting titles and going to America and that. it doesn't interest me at all, you know. And I'll tell you why. Because I've got everything that I need right now. I'm as wealthy as I'll ever need to be. You know, I've got enough money for my rent and my bills and, you know, subsequent months of rent and bills. I'm good, me. You know, I'm really good. If I never fought again, I'd be good. You know, I'm happy with what I've got in my life. I'm happy with everything I've got. And I'm wealthy. And I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. You know. And I think that might be the difference, you know. But time will tell. Listen, I just wanted to come on here and have a little ramble about the Chava. Because he seems all right. Do you know what I mean? The Chava seems all right. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye-bye for now.